Tesla insurance is here, then it wasn't, and now it is again. NHTSA is to begin testing side cameras instead of mirrors. We have another rumor for the European Gigafactory location, and this week's edition of FUD Busters. Happy Labor Day to my US listeners. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 546 for September 2nd, 2019. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a Model S, X, or 3, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. The lead story today is the unexpected start, well, then stop, and then start again, of Tesla insurance. The product is only available in California in the US at this time, but it would appear that the acquisition that needed to be made that was mentioned on an earnings call has been completed, as well as the completion of the software that was also mentioned on the same call. From Tesla's blog, they claim that the service would, quote, provide Tesla owners with up to 20% lower rates, and in some cases as much as 30%, end quote. Except it wasn't. In fact, many owners were seeing much higher rates than they already had. Not long after the blog post and accompanying Twitter announcement, they then took down the service and announced via Twitter, quote, we're making some updates to Tesla insurance and we'll be back online shortly, end quote. And then following that, quote, algorithm update in progress, end quote. Sometime after that, the service came back, and owners in my stream seemed generally happy with the results post-alteration. So California owners, go hit up tesla.com/insurance and let me know what your experience is. Better? Worse? About the same? Let us all know. Autoblog reports that a car feature that Tesla has long desperately sought to implement may finally be coming to vehicles near you in the US. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, known as NHTSA, will reportedly begin testing to see what the feasibility of utilizing cameras for side mirrors instead of true mirrors is. Way back in 2014 and 2015, a group of manufacturers including Tesla, GM, Volkswagen, Toyota, and more petitioned NHTSA to permit the feature, as it will permit vehicles to be more aerodynamic with the smaller surface area. Notably, Model X, the silver Tesla Semi on reveal night, and the new Roadster all were shown as prototypes with no side mirrors equipped, clearly showing Tesla's desire for the true design of the vehicles. With the technology already legal on certain vehicles in Europe and Japan, hopefully it's only a matter of time before it's approved for US use. I'd say it probably wouldn't be long before all Tesla vehicles would get a small makeover to drop the side mirrors if this became a legal practice. Maybe even ludicrously fast. Next we check out Teslarati, where we get the latest rumor on where Gigafactory 4 might wind up. We stick with Germany as the country, but the latest rumors suggest that it isn't Lower Saxony, but rather the NRW is where the flag will be planted per the Rheinische Post. According to the Post as well, the first inspections in the state have already taken place. Again, we're dealing in nothing but rumors at this point, but Germany really seems to be the place. It just seems to be more a question of specifically where in Germany that the factory will be located. I'll keep you posted as we hear more. Finally, we have our second edition of FUD Busters. This one is a unique one for me, as I am an information security professional, and have some expert knowledge on what's being discussed. Today's story is the one about hackers being able to again clone a Tesla key fob by simply being in range of the key fob with a laptop, radio, some special software, and some time. There was some cryptographic weakness in the way the original fobs were created that made it possible for the thieves to figure out the private key within the key fob and duplicate it. Armed with this, they would then walk to the car and figuratively turn on their copy of the key fob, letting them in. In short, it makes the key appear to be in range of the car, even though it's not. If you were unaware, this was already an issue earlier on, and Tesla used a twofold approach to fix it. First up, they unveiled the pin to drive feature, where you must put a correct pin in on the center screen before you can shift the car out of park. While this doesn't fix the issue of thieves breaking into your car, they're not getting the whole car. The second piece was that owners of the affected vehicles could trade up their key fobs to new ones that did not have the issue, and we now learn from the last show can also be updated over the air. So let's circle back to this article from Wired decrying the fact that hackers can steal Teslas by cloning the key fob quote-unquote again. This is another wonderful example of a story that's not actually news, but you wouldn't know that unless you read the full article. I'll save you some time and a click to Wired. First and foremost, the attack is A, only theoretical, B, less likely to succeed than the original attack due to both timing and distance limitations, And C, the researchers haven't actually been able to successfully use the attack. Nonetheless, as I covered last show, and we didn't know the reasoning at the time, but clearly we do now, Tesla has already issued an over the air update to fix the issue. Add on top of this that this isn't a problem unique to Tesla, rather, this is an issue with the entire industry, and yet again, we have a quote unquote story that is nothing. An alternate headline could have been Tesla proactively patches non exploitable security issue, but, that wouldn't have gotten any clicks. That is it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits, and as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Kundici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Blake Thompson, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Travis and Cheyenne Rush, Chris Hovis, Craig Murphy, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Bien Concepcion, Nathan Garza, Paul Goona, Ed Patterman, and Sunil Joseph. If you have any feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again on Wednesday. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.